Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Better late than never. I had uploaded my last video before Republic Day. That is why, and after that I am addressing my viewers. So better late than never. Happy Republic Day to all of you. In my last video, I had discussed in detail about the poem Daffodils, and I had promised that I will explain the figures of speech explained or used in that particular poem. I have written here just only 5 figures of speech. Rhetoric and prosody is a separate branch in itself, and it will require a comprehensive detail if we go on talking on rhetoric and prosody. But there are certain important figures of speech or rhetoric which are mostly used in the poems. That is why I have selected only 5 of them. If the students' request come for other ones, I will explain and go in detail about what is rhetoric and prosody all about. Now, what is simile? Simile is a comparison between two dissimilar objects. That means it is a figure of speech in which there is a definite expression of likeness between different objects and events. It is introduced by words as, like, so, as, etc. Example: I wandered lonely as a cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud. The poet is comparing himself with that of the clouds. So this sentence is a simile in figure of speech. And also he compared the daffodils with shining like stars in the sky. So that is also a simile. There is some difference, great difference between simile and metaphor. Let me tell you that simile is a comparison between two dissimilar objects. It is a figure of speech in which there is a definite expression of likeness between different objects and events, and whenever like, as, so these are used, you will consider that sentence or that line as simile. Now, what is metaphor? Metaphor is a condensed simile. It is condensed, compressed, or implied simile in which the point of comparison is not expressed through any introductory words like, so, like, as there in the simile. Now, let me tell you very simply that the difference between simile and metaphor is that if I tell somebody he is as brave as a lion, this is simile. But if I tell that he is a lion, this is metaphor. If we compare the beauty of a girl, if she is charmed, beautiful, so much attractive, जैसे हिंदी में हम अगर कहें कि कोई सुंदर लड़की को जिसमें अनुपम सुंदरी हो और उसके सौंदर्य लावण्य को हम इस तरह इंग्लिश में एक्सप्रेस करें कि शी इज़ एज ब्यूटीफुल एज ए nymph, NYMPH. She is as beautiful and charming and attractive as a mermaid, MERMAID, mermaid. she is as beautiful, as charming, as enchanting, as attractive as a fairy, F-A-I-R-Y, fairy। यानी उसकी सुंदरता को हम परी से, जलपरी से और हूरों से मुकाबला कर रहे हैं, तो दैट सेंटेंस इज नोन एज सिमिली। बट इफ आई टेल दैट शी इज द ब्यूटी हरसेल्फ, शी इज द ब्यूटी हरसेल्फ, मीन शी इज द चाइल्ड ऑफ ब्यूटी, ब्यूटी इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड फ्रॉम हर, तो दिस सेंटेंस इज मेटाफर। If I tell in another word, he is as dangerous as a snake, as a cobra, this is simile. But if I tell that he is the cobra, then it is a metaphor. So the difference here, I have set some example like that. The camel is the sheep of the desert. The camel is the sheep of the डेजर्ट, ऊंट को रेगिस्तान का जहाज कहते हैं। द न्यूज वॉज ए डैगर टू हिज हार्ट, न्यूज डैगर नहीं हो सकता है, बट द न्यूज वॉज सो पियर्सिंग, डेंजरस, दैट इट हिट हिज हार्ट एज ए डैगर हिट। सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सिमिली एंड मेटाफर। आई होप you might have got the idea. Simile is a Latin word derived from the word similis, and the meaning is like. All of you may have a screenshot of this. Now let us move to the third figure of speech, personification. This part of figure of speech is very much used in the poem, very much used in the romantic poets also, in other poets also, they have used very much personify. What is personification? In this form, inanimate objects or abstract ideas are given human attributes. That means, you remember that the poet, when he reached there, in the first stanza he is telling, when all of a sudden I saw a host, a crowd of golden daffodils. Host word is used for the man who is receiving you in his house. When you are a guest and the person where you have reached is a host. तो ये host और guest कोई इंसान हो सकता है। यहाँ पोएट ने फूलों को होस्ट मान लिया कि ये मेरे अतिथि सरकार में, ये आतिथ्य में ये लोग खड़े हैं। और क्राउड ऑफ पीपुल होता है, बंच ऑफ फ्लावर्स होता है, क्लस्टर ऑफ ट्रीज होता है, ना कि क्राउड ऑफ गोल्डन डैफोडिल्स हो सकता है। तो हियर इज ए लाइकनेस ऑफ पर्सोनिफिकेशन के दुनिया भर के सारे हजारों हजार डैफोडिल्स हमारे स्वागत के लिए यहाँ खड़े हैं। तो हियर इज ऑल्सो ए लाइकनेस ऑफ पर्सोनिफिकेशन। दिस इज ए वेरी नाइस figure of speech much used by the different poets, where they say inanimate object, बेजान चीज़ों को और abstract idea को इंसान का रूप मान लेना, इंसान का स्वरूप दे देना, वो वही पर्सोनिफिकेशन कहता है। ब्यूटी हम लोगों ने देखा नहीं है, लेकिन ब्यूटी का एहसास करते हैं। तो ब्यूटी को अगर, और एक और पहचान है personification की, it is generally written, the first letter of that word is written in capital letter. So that is also a symbol of knowing that this word is personified. Personified. तो in this form inanimate objects, बेजान चीज़ों को और abstract ideas को जानदार समझ लेना, human being की तरह ट्रीट करना। एग्जाम्पल जैसे ए होस्ट, अ क्राउड ऑफ गोल्डन डैफोडिल्स, द सन बिगैन टू रन हिज हेवनली कोर्स। हेवन मीन्स स्वर्ग होता है हिंदी मीनिंग में, लेकिन ज़्यादातर पोएम में हेवन का मीनिंग स्काई भी होता है। हेवन मीन्स स्काई, बहुत यूज़ हुआ है हेवन वर्ड को स्काई में। कहीं ब्लू डीप डाउ विंगेट, शेली ने स्काईलार्क में कहा कि हेल टू दी बलाई द स्पिरिट, ब्लू डीप डाउ विंगेट, सोअरिंग दाउ सिंगेस्ट एंड सिंगिंग दाउ सोअरेस्ट। तो ब्लू डीप डाउ विंगेस्ट क्या है? आसमान ब्लू रंग का होता है, तो वहाँ डायरेक्ट स्काई वर्ड यूज़ नहीं किया, ब्लू वर्ड सिंबोलिज्म दिया, जिससे आदमी समझ गया कि वो नीले आकाश में चिड़िया दूर और दूर उड़ते चली जा रही है। तो आप सोचिए कितना अच्छा इमेजिनेशन है। एंड आई टोल्ड यू इन दैट रोमांटिक पोएट की यही खूबी है कि दे आर डोमिनेट बाय इमोशन एंड इमेजिनेशन, इमोशन एंड इमेजिनेशन। सो सूरज कभी दौड़ता है क्या? आसमान में सूरज ने दौड़ना शुरू कर दिया। रन वर्ड, वॉक वर्ड, गो वर्ड, कम वर्ड इंसान के लिए इस्तेमाल होता है। ये जो 9 ग्रह हैं, सूरज और उसका परिवार, ये हेवनली बॉडी हैं, उनके लिए इस तरह की चीज़ें नहीं इस्तेमाल हो सकती हैं। ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हम होगा द सन बिगेन इट्स कोर्स ऑफ रनिंग इन द स्काई हो सकता है। सन के लिए इट्स लगाएंगे, अर्थ के लिए इट्स लगाएंगे, मरकरी जुपिटर सन के लिए इट्स लगाएंगे। ये प्रोनाउन है, ना कि हीज है। तो हीज इज शोइंग दैट द सन इज पर्सोनिफाइड हियर। सूरज ने अपना आसमान का सफ़र शुरू कर दिया। तो सिर्फ टू द ब्यूटी ऑफ द सेंटेंस यू कैन इमेजिन। अगर इसको कहा जाए कि द सन इज मूविंग इन द स्काई, no attraction will come, but the poetry, they have colored it. The sun began to run his heavenly course. Now the earth is weeping and crying for her mighty sons. You see, earth is weeping for her, nahi for its होना चाहिए। Earth is not a human being. This is also one of the 9 planets. This is the family of in solar systems family. Now the earth, E is written in capital letter. So this is also a symbol that you can understand that this word is personified. The earth is weeping and crying for her mighty sons. बड़े बहादुर लोगों के लिए धरती भी आंसू बहा रही है, धरती भी रो रही है अपने बहादुर सपूतों के लिए। हम बोलते हैं भारत माँ, मादरे वतन, मदरलैंड बोलते हैं हम, लेकिन कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी, आसाम से महाराष्ट्र, ये एक ज़मीन ही तो है ग्लोब का, लेकिन हम इसको स्वरूप दे देते हैं मादरे वतन का, भारत माँ का। तो यही है पर्सोनिफिकेशन। लेट्स कम ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, alliteration. It's a very nice figure of speech. It creates rhyme, rhythm, music in the poetry. You see, I wandered lonely as a cloud. शेली ने अपने एक पोएम में कहा है, वेस्ट विंड, बहुत लंबी पोएम उसने लिखा, ओ वाइल्ड वेस्ट विंड। Let me read this definition first. Alliteration. What is alliteration? Repetition of consonant sound is known as alliteration. एक सेंटेंस में कई कॉन्सोनेंट साउंड को लिखना, यह है अलिट्रेशन। फिगर ऑफ स्पीच में उस सेंटेंस को क्या कहेंगे हम? अलिट्रेशन यूज किया गया है, ये बतलाएंगे हम। जैसे ओ वाइल्ड वेस्ट विंड, डब्लू साउंड 3 बार आया है। ये पहला लाइन है ओ टू द वेस्ट विंड के, जो शेली ने बड़ी लंबी पोएम लिखी है। ओ वाइल्ड वेस्ट विंड, दाउ ब्रीथ ऑफ ऑटम्स बीइंग। नाउ हियर द रेपिटेशन इज full fathom 5 thy father lie, full fathom 5 thy father lie, 4 times F sound is used. This line occurs in the last drama of William Shakespeare, The Tempest. The Tempest is the last drama of William Shakespeare. After that, William Shakespeare did not write anything, and he died. So this line come in that particular drama of William Shakespeare, where the Ariel is coming and he's guiding Ferdinand to come to the shore. If in course of my lecture, I will, since Shakespeare has always been a favorite dramatist and poet of mine, I must take up his life also. So he is telling that full Fedom 5 thy father lie. In the next video, I will talk about William Wordsworth's next poem also. A slumber did my spirit seal. You see, slumber, S, spirit, seal. 3 times S sound is coming. A slumber did my spirit seal. He is talking about the lady or the girl who is no more in the world. That's not my subject now. I will explain in my next video. So a slumber did my spirit seal, where the repetition of consonant sound create music, create very time. So alliteration is repetition of consonant sound is known as repetition. A repetition of consonant sound is known as alliteration. Now, what is assonance? Repetition of vowel sound is called assonance. In assonance, the poet takes the rhyme and rhythm and music of vowel sounds. Oh, wild west wind. E, A, I sound is dominating. Even in the I wandered lonely as a cloud, a host, a crowd of golden daffodils. O sound is dominating. And in the next poem, which is very much popular poem, or it is prescribed most of the time in the syllabus also. So we find a very good example in Robert Frost poem also, Stopping by Woods in a Snowy Day, where he says that I have promises to keep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So these are some of the examples of assonance, and these are the important figures of speech mostly used in the poems of naturally prescribed from 6 to 12. I must share a GK with you people that these lines that of Robert Frost just I have spoken. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. I have heard that these lines were written on the pillowcase of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru also. So it is very surprising. Now, my viewers, you can have a screenshot of it. These are some of the important figures of speech which I was about to explain, and I have explained it. If it is requested by higher students to go in detail about the rhetoric and prosody, other branches also, I will do that also. So I am very much thankful that you people have encouraged me. So like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much indeed.